Hey guys, what's going on? Today is Thursday, March 18th, 2021, and this is my second episode. The first episode that I did wasn't even supposed to be an episode. It was called Jason's Disturbingly True Bank Experience, and that's exactly what it was, a disturbingly true bank experience. And I had put that out in December of 2020. And I just kind of put it out as a standalone story of something funny that had happened like 15 years before. This here is going to be a little different because I changed the name of that now to, or changed the total idea to Jason's Disturbing Experiences, because I've had so many of them. But I don't make this, like these videos you're going to see, these have nothing to do with monsters or ghosts or horrible, scary stuff. It has to do with weird stuff. Stuff that when you tell the story, somebody's like, that's just weird. That happened today? You know, people ask questions like, what, that really happened? I'm like, yeah. So, yeah, this is kind of strange. So, this video that I did before, Jason's Disturbingly True Bank Experience, is going to be part of a series of videos, and I kind of made that number one. So, when the people watch it, or whoever watches it, hopefully enjoy it, find it funny. But I'm going to try to do these randomly. So, you know, I might have a story that goes back 20 years. I might have a story that just goes back a few weeks. This one I want to talk to you about right now just goes back to Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021. And it's pretty funny because this is like just one of those days. Here's how it all began. I make short films. If anyone goes to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I make short films. I was putting together this short film that I want to come out in October of this year, and it's called Bludgeoned. So I needed to make what looked like brains, and I said, I don't want to go buy monster blood and do all this stuff. So I bought strawberry oatmeal. You know, you got a whole bunch of packs in there, and a big thing of ketchup. So the dollar store was closed, so I went over. No, excuse me, dollar store wasn't closed. Dollar store near me is moving to a new location, so they didn't have any like ketchups and mustards and things like that. So I had to go next door to the supermarket. So, you know, my goal was to go in there. The sun was starting to go down because this is February, so it was probably like 5:30. It was, you know, either dark or, you know, getting dark. So, you know, just, you know, normal thing that any low-budget filmmaker goes and buys. On a random Tuesday, I went to go get ketchup and oatmeal, strawberry oatmeal, to make these brains. So I was going to, you know, get the oatmeal, nuke it up, put it in the mix, squirt the ketchup in there, mix it all up like an egg. You know, put a lid on it and take it to wherever I go to film, and, you know, pour it near somebody so it looks like brains, looks like they got their head bashed in the story. Name of the movie is Bludgeon that I'm doing it for. And it looks pretty cool, actually. It doesn't look Hollywood level, but, you know, for what I'm looking to do, I mean, it was pretty cool. So here it is. I'm in there. I pick up the ketchup, I pick up the oatmeal, and I walk up to the register. I look, and I'm in line. We got this, you know, that spacing stuff between us. There's a kid behind me in line, 18, 19 years old, give or take, has his mask on. But, you know, he's at the end of the line, and I'm standing up there. There's no real conversation between the girl at the counter and me. I'm just ringing, you know, getting ringing my stuff up. I look behind me again to my left because I see something coming at me, and I'm like, what the heck is this? So I look. Is a guy, an old guy, about in his 70s. I wouldn't say old, but older guy in his 70s, maybe 6 feet tall, gray hair, parted down the middle, but not weird looking, just kind of, you know, parted down the middle, and his mask on. And he has his shopping cart, and he casually, not rudely, but casually pushed past this kid. All he had to do was just kind of go near the kid, and the kid moved. And he looks at the kid, and then looks back at me, and brings his shopping cart, like if this is me, he brings his shopping cart right here and pressed it against me and just looked at me. And I'm looking at the girl at the register, and she looks at me. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you first off before I start this, this is Jason's Disturbingly True Supermarket Experience. So you have, just to backtrack a little, you have Jason's Disturbing Experiences is the name of these videos overall. So this would be Jason's Disturbingly True Supermarket Experience. Or Jason's Disturbing Experience, the Supermarket. I might call it that. I don't know. But back to what I was saying. So I'm in line, This guy slides by this kid. He's got the shopping cart, and he comes right up to me and just pushes it against me. Not in a manner for me to move or to say excuse me or anything like that. He's just standing there. So when the shopping cart's leaning against me, I look at the girl at the register, and she's like looking at this guy like, what the heck? So I look at him, I say, man, you got a problem? I said to him that. He goes like this. Leaned over the cart and did that. And I didn't know what to expect at that point. I was like, is this guy going to stab me? Is he going to try to punch me in the mouth? I don't know. So I was getting a little irritated because the thing's leaning against me. He didn't say excuse me. I'm not about to move without him saying excuse me. So I'm just standing there. And, he's about this tall, leaning over his cart, holding on to the little bar there like this, just staring at me. And then he leans back. No words, no nothing. And the kid behind him is kind of like this, like, what the heck? So, and this was recent. This is this past February 2nd. So I paid for my thing, my oatmeal and my ketchup, and I'm walking out the doors. I get to the double doors, and I hear the behind me of the shopping cart, his shopping cart. He didn't have anything in it. He never bought anything. Follows me out of the supermarket. I go through the double doors, around the corner. It's like I said, it's starting to get dark outside, and I'm walking, and I hear the behind me, and I stop short, and I turn around and look at him to say a few words, and he goes, turns the wheels, just turns the cart abruptly, and I watched him from the sidewalk. He walked all the way clear down to the last car, like a distance down there, like 30 cars down. And I'm just watching him, and I'm like, what the heck? I said, well, only me. So I take my ketchup and my oatmeal to go home and make my brains, and I was parked down there where the dollar store was. So that's, down the end of the plaza. I get in my car, I go home, I tell my girlfriend about it, we have a good laugh. I think it was the night before, or the night before that, we had snowed like really bad. We got like a foot of snow or something like that. And I didn't do anything that day. I shoveled the driveway, shoveled the walkway. I think I wore this outfit that day with a hooded sweatshirt in the house. Watched movies, didn't do very much, you know what I mean? So that night at 8:59 p.m., excuse me, the February 2nd, as I said, on 8:59 p.m., I get a call from a police officer. And the cop calls me, I'm not going to say from where, but he calls me and he goes, oh, hi, is this Jason Tavares? And I'm like, yeah. I said, who's this? And he goes, this is Officer so-and-so. We were told that you drove your car through a fence and, basically damaged somebody's fence and took off. And I said, okay, when did I do this? Now, the area he said that I was in, I had driven through that area a few weeks before. And I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe, somebody saw my plate or something. And I said, oh, this was like 2 weeks ago. I said, did this take place in January sometime? He goes, no, sir, this took place, he said the date of when the snowstorm was. And I was like, thinking of it, I'm thinking, I was like, if I drove my car looks like a little crackerjack box. If I had driven my car through a fence, you'd have noticeable damage. You know what I mean? Or scratches on it or something like that. So long story short, I'm talking to this guy, and I say, officer, I said, let's do this. I'll give you a call right back. And he goes, oh, why? What's going on? I said, I'll call you right back. And I'll definitely call you back. So I hang up. I call his department. I have the person that's in charge there, whoever I spoke to, the front desk person or whatever, desk sergeant or whoever they are. They put me in touch with his boss, and his boss connected me right back to him. Because when they call you, I guess when police call you, they don't have phones that are given to them. It's their own cell phone, and they're not going to call you from their number. So, the number came up as a blocked number, which I can't blame them. I wouldn't want everybody on earth knowing my phone number. So, I called him right back. It was the same guy. And I said, I was just a little weary. I said, because I hadn't left the house on the day you said. I had been there 2 weeks prior, and you're saying that I drove over this fence, damaged this fence, or whatever. So he's talking to me about it. He goes, yeah, somebody identified you as doing it. He knew my plate, the first 3 digits of my plate. Said, does it start with this? And I said, yeah. Said the color of the car. And I said, yeah, that's the color of it. So I invited him. I said, you can come to my house and check out the car. I said, if you find a scratch on it, a scratch significant enough to have driven through or hit a fence, you can come check it out. Or I could bring it to your station. Which one would you like to do? You don't have to do that, sir. Oh, there's no reason to do that. I said, there's no reason to do that, but somebody saw me do this. They saw that car with me driving it during the snowstorm when I didn't leave the house. And the not leaving the house in the snowstorm part was kind of funny because my girlfriend's standing there while I'm talking on the phone because she heard the conversation kept going. So she's like, you didn't leave the house that day. And she goes, and then she added another fact. She said, the last time you were up in that area, I was driving my car. And I went, oh, that's right, you were. So that's like two things there. So I wrote all the information down, badge number, his name, his boss's name, and I kept it on a piece of paper and I taped it to the door. And this was only like a few hours later after the ketchup and oatmeal thing at the supermarket. So, I mean, these stories aren't like, so dramatic that it can't happen to anybody. But at the same time, it's like, man, I was already having a kind of a bad morning. You know what I mean? And I was tired that day, and I wanted to get my stuff ready for the weekend to film. So, I wanted to get all the script. I like to take a script and rewrite it on cardboard. So, if you're in a scene, because I like to write, of course, so I talk about writing a lot. So I like to have storyboards because I can't remember my own lines, and I'm not like an A-list actor or anything. So, if somebody else is in the same boat as me and they can't remember the line, it's cool to have a piece of cardboard here, a piece of cardboard here, film what the people are talking about. I'm looking at you, looking over your left shoulder, you're looking over my right shoulder or whatever, and it looks like we learned our lines. So it just makes it a little easier, and you film that way. So I was writing out storyboards, getting my oatmeal and ketchup all mixed up and ready for the brain splattering and things like that. I had work that day. I was tired. There was just a lot of stuff going on, dealing with other things. You know what I mean? And then I got the ketchup guy at the supermarket, which was just crazy. And then I got the phone call that night from the police department saying I drove over a fence during a snowstorm when I hadn't even left the house. So, these stories aren't scary, but they are pretty funny, and they're just random things that happen. So, the name of the show that I'm doing right now, all these videos, is Jason's Disturbing Experiences. As I said before, the first one was Jason's Disturbingly True Bank Experience. I shortened that name, and I'm going to add it as, episode 1 for this. So this show technically started then in December of 2020, and this is episode 2 here in March of 2021, talking about an event that took place on 2 February 2021. So talking about stuff from last month, basically. I'll have another video soon. I noticed in my last video when I was talking, I kept whacking my hand on the table near the end, and it was irritating because I had my computer here and something kept going ka-ting, ka-ting, and I think it was the spoon that I had in the bowl because I had just eaten some cereal, and it kept going ka-ting, ka-ting, and even me watching, I was like, God, I should redo that video, but it's already out there now, and it's, still kind of funny. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will have more stories. I know everybody has funny stories, but I was thinking those two are funny. They weren't the funniest, but they were still kind of peculiar, and I just thought you guys would enjoy them. So I'll have another video soon. I hope you guys have a great week. The weather's getting warm, so I hope you guys have a lot of good plans coming up with your families and friends, and a lot of laughing and good times, and maybe some funny, strange situations to lighten the mood of the world. So I'll talk to you soon.